Thank you, Louise.
Hi everyone, I'm just inviting some people and putting some things in the chat. Just to remind everybody, this is paid for asking questions. So if during the transmission, if anybody would like to ask a question, just write in the chat and then, I'm just adding it, then we can get you up into the room. So here we go. And also I'm putting Patreon link. Right, we'll get everybody up in the room. There we go. Nice to see lots of people. Aurora, there we go. Helena. So just wait a few minutes. I'm just going to invite some people and wait for the other people who are coming into the room.
And who are we missing, Louise?
Oh, hang on a sec. We're missing... Paula's still in the lounge. We're missing Joe. We're missing James. Helena's there, isn't she? Let me just tell you who we're missing.
Joe Leitner, you mean, or Joe?
Joe Leitner, yeah. I did send him a message. So let's just go through here. I'm just... so we've got Paula, we've got Aurora. Juliet, she should be coming in. I just invited her. Mark Lucas is there. We're waiting for Joe. Arthur, is he there? Aaron, Helena, James, Lisa, Luke and Shama. So maybe we're missing Shama.
Shama is here.
I just invited Sham on a speaker.
Okay.
I think it's because Shama doesn't have an avatar, so we have to look for the letters.
That's right, yeah.
I guess I need to add one.
You could put a nice UFO or something.
Okay.
Right. So we have everybody up. Joe, let's invite him. So was that everyone, David?
I believe so.
And
So I just done
for
my...
Francis also.
Oh, Francis, yes. Where is he? I saw him. There he is. There we are.
And we invited James, but James is not around, so I think we should just go ahead, perhaps.
Okay, let's just invite a few more people. Dun, dun, dun. Nearly ready, people. Oops. Okay, where are we? Here we are. Hello, beautiful humans. I'd like to welcome you to the Rohaan Channeling House. We're here again with another great transmission from our friend Rohaan. And for those of you here who haven't had the pleasure, Rohaan is a Sasani first contact specialist. His speciality is guiding us to more contact within ourselves. He's bringing forward this transmission entitled The Trigger Hood. Hood, as is always making comments about us getting into a hood like a gang, which is quite apt for this transmission. I'd like to welcome all of you who've joined us again and for the first time on this very exciting journey that we've embarked on with Rohaan. If you're here with us live or listening to the replay, and wherever you are on this beautiful planet, we're very excited to welcome you here into our ever-growing contact bubble reality. So if you are joining us here for the first time, you could also take a look at previous transmissions, which there's quite a few now. There's someone here, someone the HEA and the HEA Bosnian House, where we organised a trip to the pyramids in Bosnia. We've also been very busy on Patreon, diving deep into some great topics. And it's also great to get personal with Rohaan in a smaller group setting. It's very personal, which is great and great for everybody. Many of our participants today in the room are actually Patreon members who have included in their tier the Clubhouse VIP, which also allows them to ask a question here too. So if during the transmission anyone would like to ask some questions to Rohaan, the energy exchange is €20, which allows for a couple of minutes and a couple of questions. His PayPal account is at the top of the room. So if you do decide to do that, would you please write in the chat that you've made a payment, and then we'll get you up into the room so you can ask some questions.
And if for some reason we can't get you all on stage because there's too many questions, we'll of course put you up for the next time. So don't worry
Yes.
if there's not enough time.
Yeah, well, people who are paid, they'll be going before people
Yes.
who are in Patreon. So it's our intention with these sharings to be of service and to be served, as we're all the same. We're all teachers, we're all students, we're masters, remembering how to create as masters within the experience of our physical and non-physical realities, helping each other on our journeys to find self. So, hi Linus, very excited to be here again so quickly, and very eager to hear what Rohaan has in store for us today. If it's anything like the last transmission, it's going to be hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, but hot, you know, I have a suspicion for that, as he likes to keep things hot.
Yeah, great. So,
In terms of transmissions, yeah.
yeah, it's great. So, and it's a bit of a carry on from that transmission anyway, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe so that what I perceive from him is that he feels now is like to ride on the wave as when we are in this like heat wave with him, you know, regarding this transmission. So I think that's why it will be similar, I think, to the last one.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if yeah, Linda's in the room. Great. Okay, so we can allow Linus to get into his zone. Get in
Yeah,
the
my
space.
trigger zone. Now I will get trigger here in my zone with Rohaan. Wish me luck. See if I will get back. As I
So while Linus is doing that, we can do that too, because grounding ourselves, a great way is taking 3 deep breaths, as we know, and opening our hearts, connecting to everyone together in this lovely bubble reality we've got going. And with that, we'll allow Linus to bring forth Rohaan in this sharing. My unconditional love to you all.
Greetings to you all. How are you doing in this time?
Greetings, my dear friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing perfect as always. I assume you do too, that right, all of you?
Yes, we're all excited. We're all ready for it.
Ready for a leave, right?
Yes, we're all in the hood.
Are you sure?
And when some
Without the
triggering
blessing, you will not be in the hood, you see.
I'll be doing the blessing.
Alright, thank you.
Greetings, Rohaan. Greetings, Nectar. From our hearts to your hearts, and all of our beautiful hybrid children, and all beings connected with the hybrid realities, and who are connecting in with us now. We radiate our unconditional love and the knowingness that through these connections we are strengthening and solidifying the bridge to our hybrid realities. We honour and celebrate this connection and invite you into our hearts. Ha'atu.
Thank you. I assume some of you will say, Amen. God bless us. In this moment.
Amen.
Alright.
God bless us.
Some may,
Yes.
some.
Bless yourself too with amens and amens and amens.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. So, for now, this time being the time that you create here with yourselves, a fun time, the trigger time. But I will have some fun with you first here, because if I will share first now the monologue, you all will have to face it. Does it make sense?
We'll all have to face the monologue.
You have face it. You will have
Yes.
can cheat it. So therefore, the monologue or the main of my sharing will come in the middle of this transmission. So for now, this time being, I will encourage some of the brave people on Earth to step forward and talk to me. What triggers you?
Oh, that's exciting. Well, Linda is up first.
Linda's brave.
Let's be brave and face this together.
Go ahead, Linda.
Come on, don't be shy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I
That
can
is
hear you. Can you hear
amazing.
me in this way?
I can hear you loud and
All
clearly.
right. So, what is it within you that triggers you?
I get
The
triggered when
laughter?
people
All
get
right.
I get triggered when people get triggered by my vibration. And that
All right. How fun.
we need to look into that a little bit. We had a private session, you and me, where we talked a bit about my vibration, and I have some new questions regarding that topic. So, first of
All
all,
right.
the Bosnia trip, I was guided to not go, and I sort of realized that it had something to do with my vibration, that my vibration can trigger people. And so that was for the best that I didn't go. So my question is, how can
You
my
have to be
vibration?
sure also that this is the case too. It can be the case too. We have to be sure too. There's nothing fears involved in that too that hold you back. That's why if you're really honest with yourself too in how you explore yourself, yes, then it could be that you can see that it's your vibration that can be so. But of course, it can be also to look upon yourself to not do that because you also help people too in a triggering point of view here. Triggering is a good experience for you all to experience. So it can be like that. You maybe need to go there and trigger people. So be sure also that you're not having fears you're holding you back to explore your path. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. And so I was contemplating, like, in what way can I so guide my energy to maybe trigger people in a positive way and avoid the negative?
Well, this comes from the idea of how you are expressing your vibration in your reality. For example, you cannot be responsible for how people will react. That's none of your business, of course, but if you're being true to yourself in your own vibration, then you will then assume whatever you're doing will be for a positive reason. And if you assume it's for a positive reason, you're not going to worry about if they will take it in a negative way. You know that your intention there is for a positive reason, even if the people you're interacting with might see it in a negative way. But you are, in your way, responsible for how you're behaving, how you're expressing in your reality. So if you are being honest in your vibration, you can only express and reflect honesty back to you. Does that make sense to you?
That is so true. That is so true. Thank you for
Yes,
that.
it is very true. That's why I
Yes,
said it too, because I always speak the truth, I guess.
of course. Yes, we do. So,
All right.
so my current vibration. So a couple of years ago, my vibration was up at 329,000 cycles per second, and well, we spoke recently, and it was hovering around 200,000 cycles per second, and
In that moment
it's
too, in terms of the vibration being in you in the spheric energy, yes.
yeah. And we also talked about, well, it's more easy to navigate human realm when being in the
Yes.
200,000 rather than the 320,000, because when that was going on a
Yeah,
few
well,
years ago,
in that
it
particular
was,
level too, you're almost going into the non-physical reality. So of course, it will be very different in terms of how you experience that. You can go into that for some reasons too, but usually that will happen in a more alternate reality. There is not so much in, shall we say, what you're experiencing in typical, what you refer to as your normal reality. It will be a little bit different than that to when you are above that. But usually, what we will suggest to don't focus much on the numbers of the frequencies because by focusing too much on that, being so caught up upon that, can actually lower you more than you think. So if you are just going with the flow in your vibration, you will then increase yourself higher than you possibly can imagine because it is the wondering how much it will actually dampening that because you are not trusting your own vibration in the way you are. You need then thus validation, and therefore, coming from a validation point of view, will automatically drop it.
that is so true. That is so true.
Yes, it is very
It's
true.
about, it's about being in one state of vibration and not, obviously not think about the number.
Yes,
Um, it was quite interesting back then when I was walking down the street, how people reacted to my vibration field when it was above the
yes.
300,000.
And that could be the reflection to you that you can see around you if that will be a determining factor in terms of your vibration. So you can use that as also as a hint to you where you are in yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just one last question for that is that would
All
I,
right.
okay, so let's say when somehow I somehow manage to like rest, like permanently be up in that sort type of vibration, would that make me like a portal? Do we become portals in ourselves when we are in those high vibe?
Well, it's more the idea you're referring to as being a guide wave, for example, where you are reflecting your vibration, and it can be in your reality. It will can be translated though, if you want to look upon this in a more portal way. But it's more the idea of that you are actually opening up more vibration within people, so they actually allow themselves to perceive more into other realities and dimensions.
That's cool. So
Yes, it's very cool.
more
So now be your own portal and open up more portals around you. Thank you.
exactly. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
You too, where you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. So let's see who's next up here. First on my screen, at least, is Lissa.
I think. Okay.
Or was there somebody else?
I think
Oh,
Mark said she
can you
wants
hear
to,
me?
but that's okay.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, we can hear you, Lissa.
Uh,
Loud and
well,
clear.
okay. I have my headphones on. I'm on my way in the wood. That's a great place to enjoy your session, Linus.
Oh, maybe a little bit
Oh,
quieter though.
Rohan,
You're very loud. So
I am on my
We're not
way out
able
to work.
to pick up your communication so well at this particular moment. Please adjust your technology.
Can you hear me now?
much better.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, I just took my headphone off. I am on my way out in the wood, and you asked what exciting us. Well, being in the
What a
wood
good
is one
way
thing.
to explore now what your triggers you, because now you're in the forest.
I'm not there yet, but I was on my
You're
way out.
going to, yes.
Yes. And another thing that trigger me is playing with reality and duality, things that opposite each other, playing with that energy. I think
So
that's
that triggers
interesting.
you in a negative way because you're experiencing
Uh,
fears upon that, or it's more for a more
I guess
interesting
it's
perspective.
interesting perspective to get learning from it.
Yes, that also the idea of yourself getting into those particular different stages of being or expressions of realities, because that also enables you to shift more into what you prefer. And even though if you might perceive something that is in of itself duality in of how it expresses itself, you can take that into a positive way because also it's there to reflect to you what actually is within you that is out of alignment, because you also have your inner duality too, and your inner duality too will be out actually that you will work upon to create the trinity within yourself and in your own being. So when you do that, you will have more of the experiences of more positive triggers, because triggers are actually something needed because you need to be triggered to also have a point of view.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
that makes perfect sense. I
All
guess
right.
that's one of the reasons I enjoy playing with, well, duality.
So
I
how
don't
much do
actually.
you bet in that? What's your
Sorry,
stake? What's your stake?
what's my stake on playing with duality? Well,
How much do you bet in that? It's a
I
game, you
guess
said.
I guess that I sometimes get more duality than I want to, because then I
Oh,
learn
how
more.
exciting then! Because that is
Yeah,
what you need in the moment then to transform that into Trinity.
that sounds exciting.
You are converting that energy into positive and thus experiencing more Trinity in your life. If you will have less of duality, then it will take more time in the way how you experience time in your life to actually transform that into a more positive experience. What we are referring to.
I have to consider that. That sounds great and exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting, and thank you for playing the game of duality.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Rohan.
you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lissa. Mark, I think you were up next.
Hi everyone. Hi Rohan Claus. How are you?
Hello there, Boogeyman. I'm doing great. Are you up for some presents?
Yes, I'm up for some presents. This is a interesting one. I would like you to unwrap for me.
All
I get
right.
triggered. I get triggered by my children's they say that they get triggered by their eating habits. So basically, I get triggered when when we're trying to go find somewhere to eat and we have to eat like junk food because that's all they want to eat. So this is one of the things I'm still trying to figure out how not to get triggered by it.
First of all, you have to redefine your definition upon it too. Of course, you have a negative belief about that, about junk food, for example. Of course, we understand when you find out there it might not be so health-wise appropriate sometimes, but you have a negative belief there, and it's actually that is perpetuating that more and more and more because you're actually creating that within your thought pattern to express that out in your reality. So the less you care about that, then the less junk food that you will have because they also are reflecting of how you are in yourself. If they want to eat junk, it's also reflecting to that you also have in yourself junk energies, if that makes sense. So the more you clear up, then the less they will need to reflect that to you in your reality,
Yeah.
if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean, I call
So
it
do
junk
some
food.
cleaning there right now, and then you will see that they will eat more green food, as you say.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'll definitely do that. Thanks a lot,
So do
Rohan
your
Claus.
homework. Yes, thank you, Boogeyman. Malam malam.
Mala mala.
Thanks, Mark. Artur, you're next.
Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Rohan. How are you?
Hello to you. How are you feeling?
Extremely triggered.
Please adjust your technology.
Can you hear me?
Go.
Is this better? Is this any better?
Yes.
Good day.
Okay. So I feel very triggered, and I felt triggered for a while, and it has begun already.
Why?
The question that Lukash was asking about teleportation.
So that triggers you within you about teleportation.
Triggers me a lot.
Why?
Teleportation. The dream that I had in which I move objects with my mind. I know I can do it. I know deep
Yes.
down I can do it. But it's triggering to me that I have not allowed myself to do that yet.
Because you're seeing what you're doing in the dream state as being two-way different in the way you're doing your reality, physical reality, so to speak. And therefore, you are invalidating the difference in your physical reality. They have to be less real and there is less value to yourself. And the dream reality is the true you, and that can only be yourself. So when you see this as creating the balance there, with the dream reality, with your physical reality, that you are having those experiences in your dream reality to help you here in the physical plane. So the more you're in a balance with that, the more you're able to express that kind of techniques, as you say, in your physical reality. But first, you have to readjust yourself upon that, if that makes sense.
It does, and you told me to spend time in nature.
Yes, because the nature will help you to recognize that because it brings you back to the core vibration in yourself, in your own being, because we picked up upon that too, that there were some of course needed to be adjusted in your vibration, and therefore nature as your nature, and being reminded of that when you're in nature, different kinds of energies will help you there to remind you of who you are. And when you be reminded of who you are, you automatically neutralizing yourself, and therefore you will remember exactly who you are and don't have to invalidate in your dream reality. Because the nature is actually the higher way in your reality of knowing actually what it is to be you, a spiritual being. When you're in your modern society, you are forgetting about that because you are being distracted by all the noises and all things going on. But in nature brings that back to you, the understanding of who you are. And therefore, when you feel lost, when you feel don't know where you are, go to nature. That will help to adjust yourself to that. Does it make sense?
It does make sense. So the more I'm triggered, it's just because I'm on the path, yeah?
Yes.
So yesterday when I sat down, I felt my body become very light.
Yes. because you are more in tune to that reality, more tuned to your true core self, and therefore it will lighten you up because you're not wearing it down with heavy energies.
Thank you for lighting me up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Artur. Aurora, did you have a question?
I can't think of any triggers at the moment, so I'll just pass it on to
Well,
the next.
because you have they're hidden within you, so please be your true self here and see when they will be triggered.
Okay, I guess I can think of one.
Good guess then.
I get triggered when people talk a lot.
Why?
I don't know. Like
Because you feel that you cannot talk the same way as they do? You're being too shy in your real? Is that what you're saying to me?
that may be one reason, but
You're too
also
shy, and then you be reflected that they can talk and not you talk like that too, and therefore you blaming yourself. What's wrong with me? Why can I not express myself that way in my reality? And that's what is triggering you, not because they're just talking, because they reflect to you who you are not.
okay, that's valid. Okay, I'll
Yes,
take that.
so think about that
Mm-hmm.
and talk out more, and then you will be less triggered about that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you, Aurora. Luke, did you have something for Rohan? Are you there, Luke? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, I was just struggling to to use the mic. I don't really have anything, but I'll be bold. You can call me out if you like, Linus, Rohan.
Call you out? So what is triggering you right now?
Right now,
Yes,
um,
your
oh,
microphone?
that I couldn't do fast enough. No, not really,
All
not
right.
really. No, I think the energy is at the moment relatively smooth, so it's nothing particularly standing out.
All right, that's fine. That is exactly what needs to be for you, and that's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, sure. On occasions, of course, I'm getting triggered like mostly everybody else.
Yes. But have you allowed yourself then, when you feel triggered, to stop there and ask yourself, why do you get triggered? Why do you
Uh,
feel the way you feel to be triggered?
mm, yeah, I'm self-analytical that way. I think the trick is sometimes to just do the reset button and try to see it and just how it comes up and not to think too much about it. Just try to perceive it,
Exactly,
what's going
because
on.
when you feel you're getting triggered, stop there before you need to express yourself in that particular way. So you stop yourself there. Why do I feel this? Why do I have a belief system in me that makes me be triggered in this situation? If you ask yourself, you will find the answer, and then you don't have to express your trigger, and therefore you have transformed, or you have actually transformed the negative trigger to the positive trigger where you can actually understand and transform and be more of yourself. That is the positive triggers, is that it will first appear in a negative just to get your attention. So it can transform whatever you have within you that needs to be transformed at the moment. That's why it's triggered, because it needs to come up to the surface, it needs to be transformed so you can be more of who you truly are.
Yeah, and
And then,
sometimes,
if you stop there and transform into positive, you can use that to your advantage, to from the negative to the positive, and then you have been positive triggered and not will have the negative spin on it. Does that make sense?
it makes sense. Yeah. I have a
All
little
right.
add-on to that, just from my
All right.
perspective, as it happened to me. Sometimes when you ask them for the positive experiences, sometimes get the other side to examine and then conclusively come then to that what you asked for.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
All right, thank
Anybody
you,
else want
Luke.
to go on?
That was good. Yeah, Helena, did you have something?
Hi, Rohan.
Hello to you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good triggered right now.
Okay, awesome. I get triggered by Earth's mainstream news and mainstream media because billions of people are trusting that and watching and listening that. And it's obvious that the news is manipulating and brainwashing and lowering Earth's collective frequency. So when the news gets on the radio, I always switch it off and I never watch the news on TV because it's really based on fear and spreading or lowering lowering the frequency of people, and that is something that really triggers me.
Well, this is the thing we have talked about before, is that thing of itself are inherently neutral in that. If there's something that is expressed that you perceive as negativity in that way, in the media and so on, it's not really an agenda behind it from the people itself. It's like that the people in your society have believed that to be the case. For example, that this is a way to get brainwashed, and then spreading that kind of virus around your planet, that the media is something negative and it's brainwashing you, and it lead on and people believe that to be true and so on. That's what you have. That is actually the people fearing that is actually those creating that particular brainwashing, not the people behind the information. You might feel that people talking about negative information in the media there, but it's just reflections of the virus that people buying into that are spreading. The media people are just reflecting that. They're reflecting that reality. So you can, however, change that by observing neutrally that. You don't have to feel it's part of your life. And here it's also where it comes into play here. People believe it's a part of your life, that it can affect you, and you feel like you have no power enough to avoid that. Here comes the power of self-worth to yourself overall for people on the planet. If you believe you have all the power to create whatever you prefer, and nothing can affect you, you won't even care about if the media talk about negativity, whatever. You wouldn't even buy into that. You wouldn't even care about that. But there is something within you believe it can affect you. That this can be your reality, and you don't want that, and then you're trying to overpower that, and therefore it's what's causing the hysteria about that. It doesn't make sense to you.
Well, I personally see it as like my empathy being triggered because they often show people getting hurt, starving, being murdered, being abused,
Yeah, but
and
simply that's just like the way your reality is reflected to what you're putting out there. The media is just a reflection of your reality in of itself. The people there are not being themselves, like if that makes sense. It's just a parallel reflection of what you're into, and because people believe that, that's why it's happening over and over. But you can change that to actually to believe something else, and that comes back to again to not feel you have less power, that it can affect you. Because if you think about that, you would shift to a reality where it will not reflect you like that. You would change the way it will be reflected to you.
yes. So for me personally, or more on a collective level, that
collective
will
level, collective level, but you can take it to
yes.
yourself as well, to you believe you have very much power, which you actually have, that it cannot affect you, and you have the power to shift to what you prefer. If this were not what you prefer, you can use your power to shift to reality where that will not be the reflection that you will experience.
Yes, I don't get angry so much, but the effect it does have is it makes me a bit sad when I see suffering. That's something I just can't seem to
Yes,
switch off.
because you feel that it could be a part of your life too. You feel like you are involved in that, and you feel like you haven't done responsibility enough to help those people too, yourself, individual. But it's not about to save the whole world. It's about taking self-responsibility for how you are treating yourself, and then you will shift to a reality where you're not being a reflection. This is you to an individual level.
Yes, all right, I understand that. Thank you so much.
You're also welcome. Thank you for being bold.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, Helena. That was great. Lucas, did you have a question about your triggers?
Yes, hello. Hello, Rohan.
Hello to you. Are you being triggered?
Yes, I was triggered. Like a couple days ago when when I want to go with the going through bus,
The bus didn't
going
show up?
go
You missed the bus?
yes, missed the bus because lost some connection. I don't know how it was, but even if I later on knew that, okay, it must be a reason, I
Yes.
felt that emotions, like growing with me,
Because you
like, why that's
believe
happening.
also that you this was the only way that you needed to have that. If you missed the bus, it must be for a reason. If you understand that in your own being, that whatever happens in your reality happens for a reason, if you miss the bus, you can say, oh, that's good. Maybe I didn't need to be on the bus right now, but you believe that you were needed to be on the bus. Because
Yes,
where
yes.
you are in the
Mhm.
moment felt that you're devaluating that, and you only saw the way out of that was to go with the bus. But if you understand how your reality works, that everything happens for a reason, you can take that to your advantage to realize that, okay, I don't need to be on the bus, something else is going to happen.
Yes, yes. I was processing that on one day because I knew, like, okay, next day will show me up more and more why I still am here, and I understand it more and
Let me
more,
tell you one thing here.
and mhm, yes,
Let's say here, you missed the bus. This is just an example. And you say, oh, but I really wanted to be on the bus here. Now everything is shit and so on. But you don't know. Then maybe you go and play. Okay, I'm so bored. Well, let's go and play some lottery, for example, and then you win money. This could be one way of seeing it that way. That if you went to the bus, then you will have missed opportunity to win money on lottery. So this is how reality works. That it will always bring to what you need.
yes, and that was like yesterday. Also, like popped to my mind, when I was thinking about this transmission, and popped to my mind like the example with the fly. Like I can maybe in the past could be triggered. When you wake
Yes,
up and some fly was like, oh, poof, landed on you. You try to leave them, but it's like another place, another place, another place, and this is like small trigger. And I was thinking, maybe because this is like also like positive and negative triggers we can use because this is energy, and the quickest we uh, because what I was doing, like putting definition on it immediately, like, okay, let's do something like this, putting definition, like every time he landed on me, I will be like deeper and deeper connected to my higher self. And and practice this, not only saying, because saying, when I feel differently, it's not the way. It's like I so like this, like mental, need to shape my mind to practice this, like, okay, oh, another, oh, and immediately I was feeling, like better, like not
yes,
better, but and also connected, because my belief system was shaping was to that perspective, to that reality. So the same thing we can use on everything, like the quickest we transform the energy with negative.
exactly. And this was given you for that reason, so it will help you to stretch more the energy and get more into yourself. And therefore, it was jumping around like that, so it would stretch you out.
Yes, yes, but quickly before I was done it, that was like different energy with my body, like I have fun, I had laugh with that fly,
Yes,
so
and this is how you transform being triggered in a negative way to a positive way, where you see happen for a reason that is there to help you to be more for yourself.
Okay, so the same thing is like when we have some positive triggers, we can the fastest we if we can we have to use that energy in some way. Yes, because
Yes,
if that
and to use the energies in that way, you will help yourself to navigate yourself more into your reality because that is actually the main energy where it's connected to your true core self. When you feel and have the positive triggers, because that can be also a reference to yourself, knowing, okay, now I feel triggered positive, this is who I am, and then you can navigate from that state of being, of experiencing, expanding your reality more in the way you prefer. Because then you are acting from your true core self.
oh yes, I understand, and yes, that's what I'm feeling like. So thank you, Rohan. Thank you
Thank
for
you
that.
too
Yeah.
for being triggered.
Thanks.
So yes, in fact, the more often it happens, the better. Or the more often that you notice those triggers, the
Yes,
better.
pull off the trigger.
We're about halfway through the list of questioners so far. Did you want to switch to monologue or continue with?
One moment, one moment. Let's dive into the monologue, or in the way that you understand the monologue to be in your reality. So, the trigger hood. Why we say trigger hood? Because we understand the humans like to put their hoods on, the victim hood. Because the hood means you're hiding yourself, you are hiding who you truly are, and excusing every damn thing. Oh, it's not anything to do with me, but I still be triggered, I still feel bad because I'm just a victim here, I just been triggered about something. Oh, I'm so bad. Stop yourself there. Why are you using your power to diminish yourself like that? Oh, I'm putting my hood on now. I feel sorry for myself. Oh, let's watch a film so you feel bad for yourself. Or let's have some alcohol to feel all the pain away. Because I feel so bad. Something triggered me today. Oh, it's so sorry about me. Please, Savior, forgive me. Here, you all recognize this, right? Something happened. You were triggered. And you defend yourself. How can you say that? How can you do that? Oh, how can you do that? How can you do that? This have to be something wrong. Oh, and not with me, but with everybody else. The whole reality is wrong. What's they're triggering me? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What you have done is that you have a belief system, a feeling within you they're buying into something is happening. You cannot be triggered without a belief in yourself that you believe is true about yourself. So heck yeah, they are showing you a true, right? If you get triggered, there is a truth within that, whether you like it or not. But you can change that. If you know you feel bad about something, stop there and ask yourself why? Why do I react bad? Why do I get triggered all the time and it makes me feel bad? I want me to put myself on the ground in a cave. If you stop there, you will find the answer. Aha, because I have this fear about that. I feel, for example, that I cannot be myself. I feel this person is reflecting something to me that I'm afraid to see. Because you are involved in all of that. So don't exclude yourself for what's happening. You will not be triggered without you having something to have involvement there. If that makes sense to you all. So navigate yourself through that. Face yourself and try and transform the fears you have. If it's not true about you, well, let it go. Transform that. If you get triggered or something, so someone is better than you, for example, you come up there, you have something, and then you feel like you have to, oh, defeat, I am afraid this person will win over me, so I cannot get them show my power right now, because I get triggered here right now, but I'm the strongest one here. I am the right one here. I want to have all the attention in the whole world to prove to the world that I'm strong, that I am someone to count in on. Because I don't believe in myself at all, but I goddamn going to show I'm strong. You see, is that really a state of being, of power, of being your true authentic self? That it's only one way, my way, my way, my way, and everybody else is nothing to count on. Why don't you believe that you're equal, valid, same value as everybody else around you? Why do you have to feel you're less worthy? Why? Why? Why do you believe that? And if someone says that to you, who cares? Why do you believe that? Why do you believe that someone there come in and told you, oh, you're not worthy at all? Oh, he's right, she's right. It doesn't make sense. What's the proof of that you're not worthy? There is no proof of that, because you cannot be worthy. You are worthy. So you buy into all those lies around you, because you believe lies are more powerful than truth within you. So you live yourself in all those lies, building your reality up of all those lies. And then you be the victim, and then you are this trigger put all upon you, and then you live this life. And say that I don't have any responsibility for who I am. You have the power. And you have all the responsibility in your life. That's your responsibility to be yourself. To not buy into things that do not serve you. So yes, honestly speaking, you don't have being adult enough in your reality to take responsibility of your life. We don't say this in a negative way, if you might see that. From true love from us is that we have not perceived that you are fully humans yet because of this. Being a human requires responsibility. Of knowing yourself, how you react, and how you treat people around you. Because if you be triggered and feel all the negative way, yes, you also not take responsibility for other people in your reality too. But they are in your reality. The people that are you having in your life. So be just more aware of how you see things in your reality. And no one is better than you, and you is not better than anybody else. You're equal. Come from an equal level all the time, then you will have no issue, as to say, with this. And you don't have to prove anything. Because if you need to prove something, it means you don't believe in itself. Just relax. Relax. Be your true self. If you're feeling triggered negatively, stop there, ask yourself, and you find the answer, it doesn't make sense, transform that, and then you have been triggered in a positive way. You don't have to express your miserability in your reality. You stop there before you do that. It's okay to be triggered negatively. I'm not saying that you cannot be that. But don't go over that to express it in your reality. That's the thing. Stop when you feel something is off. Stop there, relax, find the answer, transform it, and boom, you have the positive side of it. And this is having responsibility. You're responsible to change yourself, change your reality. Yes, yes, yes. And then do not go off there wondering, why is this all happening to me? Why am I in a reality like this? Well, you have the answer. It's very simple here. It's very, very simple. It just requires, as I said, awareness, responsibility, determination. It's very, very simple. So please all take a deep breath in and let this sink into yourself and feeling that you are being more of yourself. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You are a member, an eternal being. There is no rush or hurry in life, in your reality. Focus on being yourself. And take responsibility. Because remember, contact with other beings, but the first steps within contact is to make more contact with yourself. Because remember, beings like myself, we come from a frequency of knowing who we are, of not being triggered in a negative way. We are being the opposite of what we just talked about. And therefore, if we will interact with you right now in a physical way, if you haven't been adult enough in your own being of finding who you are, your true self, your authentic self, what will happen in a physical meeting is that our vibration will put that in your face, who you are, feeling yourself, all the fears in you. You will get triggered completely in a fearful way and run away. Run. You have run, 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 run. And therefore, after that, you will feel like something is wrong will happen. You will have a psychotic shock. Your whole reality would have been break down. And therefore, we know what we are doing. We are telling you this to help you because we assume you're here because you want contact. And then it's our responsibility to guide you with the information we're sharing to you to help you. We don't care what you do with this information. We don't care here at all if you're going to take this into your heart or not. We don't care at all. But we do what excites us. For what in our responsibility is from our excitement is to do this. What we are being, we also reflect that who we are, and this is simply who we are. I don't care whatsoever what you do. what you say. This is just who I am. And I have no other reason to change me. This is simply me. I know how this works because I'm living in this state of being. I know how it works, and I know how wonderful it is. And for me, it is very, very challenge for me to even see something in a negative way. Because I have trained myself to look into the positive. And therefore, if something will ding, ding, ding with something negative into my very eyes, I will have gone away from that because it's simply nothing I prefer. And yes, that could be triggering for something within me, but I don't eat it up. I simply go away. I don't take a step forward into myself and wondering, and express that out. I know it because I know myself, who I am, and therefore I don't need to express what I don't prefer because it just happened to me. It's just there. I just move along. How do you all feel?
Great. Wonderful
Are you having
transmission.
fun? Are you having fun?
Yes.
Great. It actually reminds me as well of, some people would label it as a personality conflict. So it's like being triggered about something unfulfilled in your life.
Yes.
It triggers somebody's sense of incompleteness. So actually, when situations like this arise, like the
Yes.
person who's being triggered energetically is saying, help me figure this out, what it is.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it's
But they are incapable of telling you the truth. Therefore, they have to express themselves in that kind of way.
yeah,
But they're
and
simply saying, "Help me, help me, help me."
yeah. So that's their higher mind is also saying to you, and that's why, like, not judging them, then you can like connect with that. So their higher mind is saying, like, please be loving, please, like, give me a different perspective to help me. I'm having challenges to help myself,
Yes,
and yeah, and really, they're doing that because that's the only way that they can bring it up, is by engaging in conflict.
exactly. Because conflict also mean more contact within yourself. And therefore you need to have people around you to bring that up to the surface. Because that's also why people are called mirrors, because they're reflecting
Yeah,
things within you.
definitely. So if you find yourself in that situation where somebody has been triggered by you, then looking at it in a loving way and knowing, because everybody else is us as well, so
Yes,
looking at it from like a loving perspective, not to like not talk to the person, or just and normally it happens with people that you do end up getting a bit closer with,
yes,
because as we know, those closer people, we end up being like great mirrors for each other.
yes,
So coming from a loving perspective, you and not judging them what they're doing, then you know that their higher self is actually like trying to guide them into it, but they just like need some help, and we can offer the help. It doesn't mean that people are going to
yes.
take it.
Because understand the higher mind can only give energy information. It cannot, for example, force the person to go there. That's the free will from the ego perspective to do. But the higher mind can know, and knows very much so, that the person's ego cannot do that particular decision, and therefore needs to engage in other people that can actually help the person. So then the higher mind talks to the other person's higher mind, and from there the person brings that from the ego to the other person's ego. That is what usually what you have that, because, and therefore it always are this reflection from the higher minds to higher minds around you all the time. And you can be more aware of that communication when you're talking with another person. See this person as a whole, then you will be able to see it more from an energetically perspective, and you can actually be able to tap more into the higher mind of that person if you're willing to do so. Of course, you do it unconsciously too very often, but you can be more consciously about that.
Yes, definitely. And as we're becoming masters, to allow yourself to see that, if someone is triggering you, then going into that loving space, you can help them if they allow it themselves.
Yes.
And also, like people lashing out at other people, having a definition of them that triggers something in you that makes you feel threatened. That's the same sort of idea, isn't it?
Yes. Also, we have experienced too on your planet that when people define ET beings, they usually define us as being, for example, even though if we were high in frequency, but somehow you have put labels upon us how we are able to express ourselves, that we cannot somehow express ourselves in a more way that you're familiar with right now, for example, that we have to come like this, we come here in peace, yes, 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 yes. Oh, you're very fine, yeah, very, very fine, 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 fine. Oh, we cannot make some jokes if you do that. Well, how can we do that? We're from another planet, we cannot make jokes. So, for example, but you're all getting more of the flavor of who we are. And we have experienced there for now over 40 of years, actually, as we have been in communication with you, that you have reshapen your understanding of the communication with extraterrestrial beings. Because we are just people like you. We have feelings too. So thank you for seeing us more of who we are.
That's great. Thank you for that, thank you for that, Rohan. I just had one quick question before perhaps we continue either with the monologue or with questions, and that's um, triggering is something that's designed to get you to look at yourself in a certain way. But what would you suggest? Because sometimes we meet people who are who like to, especially in the spiritual community, who like to sort of gaslight. In other words, they say that everything that happens to them is actually somebody else's fault. And what would you have some sort of synchronistic suggestion to suggest to them so that they could help, look inward a bit more when they get triggered?
Well, for example, as we have picked up too in the spiritual community, is that when it comes to what you're referring to, is that the people that having that experience is because they believe that they don't believe what is happening to them is really accurate, authentic. They don't trusting what is happening to them. So there are lack of trust in that kind of a way. So then it has to be more readjust to understand that whatever happens to me is authentic, is very real, because we understand that you want to have proof of this, what is happening, the spirit reality, and so on with you, as you say. But you don't have to prove anything. It's not about proving, it's about being yourself. And by seeing in that particular way, by lighting up that it's really accurate what happens to you, then it will be no gaslighting, because you're gaslighting yourself out there because you don't believe you have the light. That's why you have to gaslight, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, thank you for that.
Because
That's
there are
very, very.
alignment there, and therefore the light cannot be really seen, accurate as possible, and therefore boom, 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 boom. The spiritual thing you can do to yourself consciously, even if you are all spiritual beings, but consciously is to reflect the light you are purely as possible. And that is to know who you are and know what you do due to your actions. That is the spirituality in your reality behind those things, is who is actually expressing the vibration, who is the person behind it, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have more monologue, or should we continue with the trigger
Questions?
questions? All right,
Yes.
let's go to the next. I think Ari, did you want to talk about your triggers, or do you want to go to the next?
Hello, Rohan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I am triggered mostly by my own actions lately, not so much by other people's actions or the way they behave, but more by my own actions or inactions. When I know better, and don't act accordingly because I'm having a belief that tells me something about myself that is not true about myself, and I'm recognizing that, and that triggers me.
Yes, but this is also very good for you because you are realizing more what triggers you. You realize that there are things within you that are in a misalignment within you, and therefore you are beginning now to transform that. So allow yourself then to dive more deeply into those things too with yourself, where you feel it feels off, as you say, that you know is not true, and then transform that into the positive. That okay, I feel this because of this, or for example, that you should know better. That is also something that comes from that you believe you should actually know better because you believe actually that what you do is actually of a less worth. But what you need to know, remember here, I will help you with that. Whatever you know now is exactly what you need to know at the moment.
Yes.
If you go with that,
Uh-huh.
then you don't need to say that, oh, I should know better. Because the amount of need is exactly what needs to be there in order for you to understand is what's happening. And to have the better part there is that, well, nothing is really better or worse in that way. Just what you know is what you know, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari. Star Paula, what triggers you?
This whole hybrid program,
Why?
because I don't really want kids, and I also feel like my life is like planned out for me, even though I know it's not true.
It
It
is,
just
yes.
right. So I feel
But
like I just have no
you
free
have
will.
kids, but you don't know how that will be about in the future, how you will interact with them, right?
Yes.
So you're not with them now, right? Aren't you, right? So you have a belief that says to you, now I have kids in the hybrid community. That tells you that something needs to happen in that way for me now, because now I have kids, and then I need to do this, to this, to this, right? Who says that? Trusting the way your path unfolds and already have been predetermined, as you know. So what are you even worrying about that something wrong or off might happen there? You might need to have the happy children where they are to support you, but it doesn't mean that they have to show up physical to you, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's just more it just seems like, I don't know, like my relationships and my private life, like it's all already planned out and I have like
It
no
is, but
say.
what's the concern? Do you
That
feel that they will interfere you with that or what?
that it won't be what I want.
But what? How do you know what you want in that way? What do you want?
I only know what I want now, right? So,
Yes. So how do you know what you want later then?
well, I don't, but I'm having a
That's
hard
what I'm
time
saying. That's
connecting
what I'm
to it
saying.
now.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know that. You are coming from this being you are now, but you're going to do a lot of changes as well, transformation, right? You don't know. And that's what I'm telling here, that you have to see this in a way that will best support you on your theme here. Whatever that needs to happen will happen to you, right?
Yeah.
And trusting that, and not from the ego saying, well, I don't want that. Obviously, something's being triggered within you about kids, and therefore you have kids because they need to trigger that with you. But as you don't have it in a physical reality, then you need to have kids as hybrids in that way to help you to be more yourself. So they are very inclusive here, and therefore you cannot, or you do, but don't actually determine right now what will be your path, because you don't know that what you want in the future, what that's going to happen. But see this as who you are now. You're being triggered by kids for that to help you to stimulate your own inner child.
Okay.
This is a very brief way of putting it, you understand, but this is how you can understand where simply how it plays part here with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's something from your own childhood, yes, isn't it?
Why I don't want kids?
I didn't say that, but there's something from your own childhood, right?
Well, it
That put
usually
this
is,
into
right?
your belief. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But what are you feeling about that? Do you feel there will be in your way or what? Stop you from something?
I don't
You
know.
don't know
I
your contact,
feel like
yeah.
I don't want the responsibility.
But who says that you should breastfeed them, so to speak?
No, I know I won't.
Yes, but I'm saying that you don't know what it means to have them. You believe you need to take care of them as you do with Earth kids, right?
I know that I don't.
So
But
if
it's
you know
also
you
like it
don't,
was just a
what's the
shock
issue
for
there?
me because
Why?
I never it was just a shock for me because I never wanted kids and I never thought I was actually going to ask you before that whole session happened.
You didn't want it, but from that you are from a higher level, making a soul agreement to be involved in the higher agenda is way different than your ego here.
Yeah, I get that.
Who you're here are filtered with belief systems, and the more you become you who you are from a higher level, you will understand more why, and then you don't have this feeling. And this could be a good indicator for you to know where you are in yourself in relationship to contact.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
So now you know you're getting triggered, and that's good. So see it more, okay? If I have kids, it must be for a good reason why I chosen that, right? So if you believe that, of course you have preferences as well, but don't insist it has to happen in a way just because you believe that. Do you have to take care of them in the way you think? They are very
Yeah.
independent, the children there, you know?
I know.
They are just part of your life in a greater way than you might think.
Yeah, I guess I'm just
This
having issues
stands
like
for the
connecting to
balancing
it.
within you, yes, and you need that particular child vibration to help you on the contact path. Again, it doesn't mean that you have to take care of them in the way you think.
Okay.
And you believe you have to, and that's why you have this belief system, feeling about that.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you, Starlam?
Yes.
So let's be your own child so you understand then how to be a child.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Is this clear to you or what?
It is. Yeah, it is.
All
And I
right.
knew all this, you know. I mean, there's obviously a
Yes.
lot of things, but yeah.
Yes. Thank you for being honest here.
You're welcome.
You're welcome too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Star. Up next, we'll have Blue.
Sha. Star, Sha.
Shah.
Your
That's
star,
Sasani.
Sol. Our star, Sha.
Oh,
Who's
oh,
next?
me. Yeah. Hi, Star family. Sorry. I was having a wonderful,
You.
interesting
Yeah.
What
dream.
have
Yeah.
you trigger?
What triggers you, Blue?
Oh, well, I was having an interesting dream where I was looking for being number 53, but I was at 69. But anyway, I'm here now. What triggers me?
You are here.
Yes.
No, come.
Uh, what triggers me is my mother, because some days it
Oh, how
seems like
convenient.
she wants to come on the contact path with us, but she has a lot of challenges letting go of her fears, or fear-based beliefs. And Bashar did tell me, she said that for me to pass through the eye of the needle, I just need to forgive my mother and forgive actually
Yes, because you have
everyone
traumas
around
there
me.
from her, and you believe that you're gonna be hurt even more if she's there with you for some reason.
Mm,
You believe you're gonna be
yeah,
hurt more, and you believe that she's going to prevent you from having contact.
something like that, something like that. So
It is
Bashar
like
says,
that.
yeah, just to forgive her and show her unconditional love so she can be
Yes.
who she is, and so she can be of the best
Yes.
benefit to creation, and
And
I can be
yes,
of the
and
best
that's how you
benefit
help
to.
her by forgiving her. Because that is
Mm-hmm.
also why you feel resistance to because she's wanted forgiveness.
Because
And
she wants forgiveness. Okay.
when you forgive, then it will be easier. See what you're
Yes.
feeling now is only resistance in that. That you are
Mm,
not really putting your in the forgiveness. And that is what will help you and your mother.
yes, I understand. Because Blue is calling me, so she's telling me what to do. I
Yes,
just
she's
have
helping
to.
you with that because she's also utilizing a blue frequency, which is a very high frequency, to help you with that.
Yes. Correct.
You
Yes.
have a guy there with you, which is the blue, and she's there for you to help you. And she's
Mm-hmm.
also very tuned to your mother, so don't let that go away.
Yes. Because Bashar kind of gave me the sensing that they're coming. They're coming for me. They want to bring me home. But for me to come home, I have to forgive and let go so that I'm, in a sense,
Yes,
small enough to fit through the eye of the needle. And
yes,
just like
because you're
Cole felt.
going home, but all the resistance there is actually keeping you or preventing you to pass through the eye of the needle. You need to
Yes,
go
I
through the
know.
tunnel there, but all you have to clear up the resistance for to pass through it.
Yes,
And
I'm
the
aware.
forgiveness, vibration of forgiveness is actually what actually will let go of all the resistance. Because when you come from a state of forgiveness, you're knowing that you're putting that, okay, it's okay what happened. I'm coming out from myself, from a higher level of myself, but I don't see it in a negative way. I forgive. And then you let go of all resistance.
Yes, that's right. And really, it's like you mentioned with Star, is just to trust the process and release all judgment. Yeah, and trust
Yes.
that everything will work out for the good of all beings involved.
Yes. For
Everyone will.
example, if you clean your house or your apartment, you get many dust there and so on there, and it feels very, very, it feels very dirty and so on there, right? But when you clean that, it feels so beautiful and it feels clean, you can breathe, right? The life you're putting in there is judgment, all the negativity, that's actually the dust, and you
Uh-huh.
clean that with forgiveness.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's just
Sensible.
about being, yeah, sensible. Yeah. I guess as
So
human beings,
now
we're. Uh-huh.
let's you take responsibility to forgive her.
Yes, yes. I did that. Yeah. So
You have the responsibility. You.
I know. Yeah. Bashar reminds me quite often as well.
Yeah, you.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blue. Next we have Shama.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Rohan. How are you?
Hello to you. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Um, I definitely was triggered the other day, but I quickly transformed it. It was
Oh, how
nothing.
good. How good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was nothing that was sort of out of the ordinary for me. But what happened? I went to, getting ready for bed, and it came up again, and I was thinking, okay, and it went into other areas where I went, oh, and so I could sort of, and now when I look at it, I think, okay, this is, the environment that I grew up in, that family dynamic I didn't feel safe in.
Yes.
And sorry, it's making you upset. So
It's all
have I
right.
not forgiven
Relax,
myself?
relax, relax. Yes.
Or because I feel I've forgiven my family, but
Yes.
is there more to it that I haven't recognized in that
Forgive
sense?
yourself.
It's myself, eh?
It's
Oh, okay.
yourself. You have to forgive the others, but not yourself.
Okay.
So forgive yourself, and it will feel better.
For putting myself in that position, or
For putting yourself in a position where you're actually reflecting back to you all the sorrows, all the energy to you. Because if you forgive others, but then the energy is come back to you, if you have something like unfinished within yourself that are in a relationship to the others involved in your life, and then the energy will actually seek back. It's similar to what the virus actually needs host, for example. If you don't have the balance there, it just punch back to the person that they seem as being like usable for them to use the virus, if that makes sense in your language.
yeah.
So if you
So
forgive yourself, then the virus will transform into something else, not gonna be in your family, so to speak. If that makes sense.
okay, so I'm not sure exactly how I would forgive myself in
It is
that.
one way how you have allowed to feel your to treat yourself, so to speak, that you feel that you are responsible for what happened.
Oh,
Is that you feel that you could have done something better, or you should not have done that, or done that. But you know, things has been already made in that already, so you cannot make it undone in that kind of context. So you have to move on in your vibration, that's to forgive, and not look back and say that, oh, it was my fault, my fault, my fault. No, it's not your fault. It's just like it's what needed to happen. But you have
yeah,
forgiven the others, and that means that energy is ready to transform, to
right.
let go of. But you have the final step that is to forgive yourself.
Okay, interesting. I guess that is sort of like that victimhood where, even though I was just little
Yes.
and you don't think you're doing anything, you still go, oh, it must have been me. That's why they're doing that to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's still in your collective belief systems very obvious for be terraformed like that when you are in that age that is supposed to be when you're a child in belief system that is to put this victimhood mentality. And when you're then getting older, you don't realize that how actually what had shaped you when you were a child. And
Yeah.
therefore you go on and believe more and more. But it's just because you have belief systems from your childhood was not your belief systems, from friends, from society, and what have you. And therefore to look back, we understand that look back and so on can be where to look at what is so much things going on there. But there are obvious things that you remember that have happened in your life that you know. And those things, if you focus upon those things, that will be enough. You don't have to know every detail in your child and try to remember what you don't know. It's that what thing is very obvious to you is what needs your attention.
Okay.
And if you transform that, it will actually propel you in another direction. So just
Yeah.
focus on what you can see, not what you cannot see, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Awesome. Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
That took many years to get to. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so
Everything,
much.
everything in perfect timing, Shama. So
I
thank you so
It
much.
suppose.
took me a lot of years to come to you in this way too. Took me 210 years in this situation right now
Amazing. All right.
to have this conversation with you.
And we're thankful for that.
Yes. Or even though I am a version of me right now that is about 280 years old.
It must be amazing how you can just hop up and down the timeline like that.
Yes. This we do so in my society to allow us to bring information that is required. But if we will be fixed in the way that you are, in a way, in your space-time linear, is that then you don't having the information, so to speak, there is what there, and you are not having the answer. But we know automatically, as we're having these dialogues with you all, is that I'm putting myself in an energy state where I'm putting in a trust way that I'm trusting that in my own timeline, I will slide up and down in order to answering the question. I don't need to know, focus, okay, now I need to go to 210, 250, and so on. I don't need to know that. The energy knows in regards to what you're asking for questions. So I'm used like up and down like this and bring through information that we can bring through, of course.
Of course.
Does it make sense in your language?
Yes, it does. It explains a lot, actually.
So, for example, that sometimes I will bring back myself to a 50 years old to have any information that you need, but then a second later I will be 200 and so on and so on.
Right.
And also, when we're having this, people are wondering if we know everything when we talk to a person. Or, for example, if sometimes if I know already what the person's going to ask, sometimes I do, sometimes I do not. It depends completely on the person asking the question. Sometimes the person needs to ask the whole question to open up more doorways within the question, even if I will know the question. Sometimes I know before and helping person to not go in that deep because it will confuse the questioner if they go too much deep and then we bring in the answer right away. And sometimes we do that. But very often it is more important that we allow the person to expand into it more. If that makes sense.
Yes, because it's a co-creation.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And also that we have been asked before is that what do we see when we come through in this way? Well, as we are quasi-physical beings, we are able to see your energy patterns very sensible. And that is what we are sensing when we're talking to in this way. We are reading your energy patterns, and from there it guides and bringing the information through. It also helps us to see in your own timeline, past, present, and future. So that is what we see. And we tap into your own guides that are involved on your path, your higher mind. And that is also what is happening in that kind of way too, that as we're working with your energy, as we're seeing in that, we're just reflecting back to you your energy state. And that comes with it your own higher mind. Because we're just allowing to be like the vessel, a channel from your own higher minds. Does that make sense?
Yes, so in the end, we're just using you as a mask to communicate with another part of ourselves.
Exactly. Is that we are your permission slip for talking to your own higher minds.
Who is we?
We is my people. As we see each other as one marriage, we use the word in plural. Or
Oh, that
it
makes
is more
sense.
that happens that it being translated automatically in the terms of vocabulary. Because as we are coming from that particular state of being, it is very obvious that the brain will translate that into we. If I want to make a statement more from me, then I will utilize I. Does it make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
We're a
Did you want to?
whole.
Hmm. Did you want to continue with question? We have a few more people who might have triggers.
2 more people.
If you're
What's your time?
We've nearly done an hour and a half.
All right. One moment.
Oh no, it's nearly 2 hours, isn't it? I'm just looking at my clock.
oh,
Yes.
hour and a half since we started at 8:30.
Oh yeah, 8:30, hour and a half. There's just 2 more people left.
One moment. One moment. We will this time not bring through in this way ourselves for this terminal in this way. That means that we're not going to answer more questions at the moment. As we give to you what you need in this moment to be yourselves. And we need to take also into our account that the channel need also some rest. Does it make sense to you all?
Thank you very much for this transmission. It was lovely.
Yes, thank
We
you
need
so
to
much.
space up the terminal.
So we'll let you charge your
So
battery.
before that, how do you all feel? Yes, how do you all feel?
It's like a group
All
intervention
triggered.
session.
Relax.
Say again?
I was saying it's like a group intervention psychology psychotherapy session.
Yes. Yes.
Energized, super energized.
Yeah,
One
I feel a
moment.
lot queerer. Yeah.
Confirmed in many ways.
Yes, speak. Share.
I just wanted to say thank you so much because you're confirming us in so many different ways and you're helping us to grow here in so many ways. Thank you for everything that came through.
Thank you, thank you. Although we have a message to our own, to your collective. There are going to be more sharing vibrationally from different faction of the Greys into your society. They're going to share more information about themselves, about more involved, especially that particular group of Greys involved in the hybridization agenda. It will be more information upon that, as it's going to be more from them, see it in a more, or they have changed themselves in a new algorithm way. Therefore, they want to bring through more of themselves to your society in that way.
We are very grateful.
Very exciting.
As you're going to have also a glimpse now more into the positive version of the Greys, as you have shifted to that particular version of the Greys, which is now more capable of for more emotions, feelings, and you're going to be more involved in that.
Wow, that's exciting. Thank you.
And in terms of your own time, how you measure your own time, so to speak, is that it will be things happening where I have my ship above Skinwalker Ranch. It will be a shift where the ranch will be more open for people to visit. Due to your own actions in that, and you have helped to shift more into a reality where we will be more open to perceive the ranch more openly.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And a message from collective of beings that has responded to what you're doing in your contact experiences, more as you refer to as CE5. They perceive this as a good way, of course, to expand contact in a way of allowing. And if the kind of beings have allowed themselves to show up in that way, to help you to get more understanding of different kinds of beings and experiences. For the time being, with all what you're experiencing, remember also to activate more of your own synchronicity in that. Because what happening in the C5 is that you're just activating more of the energy and you're perceiving more what's happening in the area. Because remember that it's just about making the invisible visible. As you have a lot of spaceship traffic all the time, it's nothing really new about that. Is that when you're doing the CFI, you're used to making it visible to you. And put that energy to yourself in your daily life, so to speak, and activate more of this synchronicity of this, how it will happen. Because why is that so? If you allow this synchronicity to be activated, you're going to expand more faster into contact. Because there can, although, be resistance to in the way if you're seeking for contact, because you're seeking in that way, you're doing all the things to break it down. But true, of course, contact will come from a more synchronistically way, as many beings operate from that particular state of being. Of course, this does not mean that don't do it. It's not what you said. But have in mind and activate your own synchronicity in that. Because that is also a key akin to contact by using synchronistic. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course, the more that we follow our own synchronicity, we allow it to unfold naturally in the right timing.
Yes. For example, as we have said before, many times, for all these years to you, is that people come up and talk to us and say, am I really going to have contact? Am I really going to do it? I'm afraid I'm going to miss. I'm worrying about that. And it's actually the worryingness that's going to stop it. That you're worrying, for example, you're afraid you're going to miss that and you believe you're not worthy and have done enough homework, so to speak. And the less you, for example, care about when it will happen, working on yourself for your excitement, that will help you to contact. Not worrying that am I going to have it or not? Is that worrying that will stop it? Because then you're not activating the synchronicity in your life. Live your life. Make contact with yourself. Then you will end up in the right place at the right time when something will happen. And as many beings operate from that state of being, you have to be in that vibration of synchronicity in order to perceive it, in order for them to be there to see you. Understand? Otherwise, you will miss each other, so to speak. That makes sense. So the more you live in the moment, the more you will be where you need to be. And this is also what we can say in an open contact way, globally speaking. It's not gonna be like the day when it's going to happen, when ship is going to land. It's not gonna be the day. It's gonna be in regards to synchronistic. So have that in mind. It's not gonna be on the news like tomorrow, breaking news. Tomorrow they will all land. Do. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be inner feeling that you feel, oh, you're gonna just be where something's gonna happen, and you trusting that, and then boom, you're gonna be at the right place at the right time when it globally happen. Does it make sense?
Definitely state of being and following your synchronicity.
Yeah. Then you're in a state of contact too.
Exactly.
So we thank you for this sharing. And tomorrow we will talk about, or I will talk about my perspective as a spaceship pilot. I will guide you through my own training as a pilot and also more of the construction of my own spaceship.
Exciting. Is that on Patreon?
Well, if that's what you plan to have your next transmission, I assume so, yes. And We are going to explain more also the kinds of construction of disc form spaceships, triangle, cylinder form, what purpose it has too, energetically too. So we are excited to share it with you in your next transmission. Have a great now wherever you are in the now. And we send you all love to you. We love you unconditionally. You are safe. Welcome home.
Ha'atu.
Ha'atu.
Ha'atu. Aveo. Hello, how did it go?
What another great transmission there.
Wow, so
Yeah.
intense. Great one,
Yeah,
Linus.
yeah. It goes so fast, when I'm channeling, that his energy so fast through me. Like I mean, like this when he is coming through. So I hope. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, like I've been running, like a marathon after this session.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Lean.
Yeah, the time moves so fast as well. Like 1 hour is gone, but it felt like 5 minutes to me. Yeah,
It's
I've
almost
only.
been 2 hours.
It felt
Oh,
longer for some reason.
Yeah, I think it felt for me it felt like maybe 10 to 15 minutes when I come back.
I
yeah.
suppose that's
But
one way. When you do that, you don't age, do you? So
no,
it
Yeah,
so
has
I'm
you'll
its
be
gonna age
younger than
less.
all of us.
it has its
Yeah,
benefits.
that's good to be a channeler, and I think that's why Daryl Anka looks so young. He's in his 70s, I guess, and he looks like maybe in his 50s. So I think it's actually help with channeling to stay young.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Right. Thanks everybody for contributing your energy, your sharings of your triggers. It's nice to do something like this together.
Yes, thank you all for this beautiful co-creation. And so we'll let Linus get his well-deserved coffee, maybe a
Yeah,
double today.
exactly. Milk and as always.
Lovely. Thank you very much. And we'll see you very soon.
Very soon.
See you, see you soon, guys.
All right.
See you
Bye.
Bye,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.